I still don't have Commissioner Herbert's gavel, although promised, but it is 4:30, so we will call the Budget Committee to order. First item on the agenda is citizens communication. Jamie, I understand we have no citizens communication?
Correct.
All right, with that then, we will close citizens communication. Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from September 2nd. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second. Very good. Any changes, questions, alterations to it? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor of approving the minutes of September 2nd, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll mark that one unanimous. Next up are transfers. I think it looks like we've got 3 transfers on here. Can I get a motion?
You'll do one or all three together?
I think we did
You have to
one
do them
piece.
individually.
Got to do individually. Apologize. First is a request for an available surplus vehicle from the property department. May I have a motion?
Don't move.
Second.
Second. All right. This looks like just a request from property committee. If you've got a vehicle available, can I have it?
That is true, yes, sir.
All right. If available. Any questions from the committee? Any questions from any of the commissioners? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'll mark that one unanimous. Next up, we've got a request from Phoebe to offset for capital expenditures. I think this is for solid waste. What that was?
Motion.
Solid waste, yes.
Second.
Motion second. Phoebe, this is moving solid waste.
This is moving money from the line items. You can see we're moving some money from building improvements. They had some funds, solid waste department was approved some money back in '22 for some building expansions for their shop expansion and improvements. That has been put on hold. We are needing those funds to actually offset the cost of purchasing their new equipment. We projected a number during budget process, and they have come in just slightly, a slightly higher price than what we had anticipated. The other 2 are for construction and motor vehicles for 2 closed projects. They have been completed. We're just moving the money so that we can use the funds where they're needed.
Questions from the committee? Anything from any of the commissioners? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mark that unanimous. Last, it looks like a budget transfer request from the sheriff's office. Do a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Very good. Sheriff, looks like we need a trailer to help move a helicopter.
That's my understanding, and Chief King is here if we need to get down in the weeds, but basically it's to move the helicopter from point A to point B without doing it in the air.
I guess how far is point A and point B?
Beg your pardon?
How far is point A and point B?
Well, it could be, just anytime we need to move the helicopter. It's not a specific one-time thing, right? Chief King?
I'm sorry.
The moving the trailer is just for when and whenever we need to move it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just for when and whenever.
Okay. It just didn't make any sense. Yeah, kind of looking at it, thinking of something that flies, then how far would we drive it? But if it's moving it from where it is currently to the new building or something.
No. It could be, for example, it could be from where it is here to the Leapers Fork Christmas Parade. We hauled it down there last year rather than flying it. So, because it's actually in the parade and it was actually a float-like thing. So that's one example of what it could be.
Afraid it wouldn't fly. So that's categories. Well, I just wasn't sure. Yeah, it didn't make, but now it makes sense that we would put it in the parade just so people could see it, but we wouldn't want it to be flying.
Yeah, that's one example. Maintenance could be another example. If we had to transport it somewhere, if it wasn't operational, we needed to transport it to a mechanic that didn't come here, we need to take it there. That'd be another example.
Those are my questions. Any other questions from the committee? Any questions from the commission? Very good. Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mark that unanimous. We'll move on to our resolutions. First is formerly 92527, now resolution 10-25-1, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to approve an addendum to extend the conference center operating agreement with Brothers Hotel Partners LLC for the continued operation of the conference center at Cool Springs. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Very good.
Any questions?
Well, we had a few, I think, previously. I don't know if it was addressed. What's the reason, I think, for needing this to be extended?
It's kind of twofold. One, the Chartwell owns the hotel, and we are going through a normal refinancing of it, and there's only 2 years left, and the lender is having a difficult time with the loan because with the uncertainty of the confirmation of the extension. And then secondly, we have been booking space past the extension that we don't feel great about. So we'd like to try to expedite the extension earlier.
Maybe you can state your name for the record.
Sorry?
For the record, who?
Dan Harrington.
Dan Harrington.
With Chartwell.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the other committee members? I know this went through a lot of discussion, I think, the other day in property. So.
Nothing.
Good up here. Are there any other commissioners with questions? Commissioner Richards?
I do. This might be for the mayor or legal counsel. Do we have an agreement with the city of Franklin for the ownership of this that is to be renewed also? Or, Bobby?
We have a contract with the city of Franklin that does not need to be renewed. It terminates on the separation or the sale of the property.
Okay, so it's been in effect since 1997?
96, 7. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You mind, Bobby, while you're answering that question, explain to the other commissioners the way the contract works between Franklin and the county?
Sure. The contract that we have, we entered into, and it provides that Franklin was going to do the construction. They were going to do all the bids, which they did. The contract also provides that we own half and the city of Franklin owns half. Should we come to a point where we want to sell our half interest, we have to give the city of Franklin a right of first refusal. And they get 120 days to decide whether they want to exercise that right. Should they want to exercise it, the city and the county enter into negotiations to whatever the values that they think is fair. Obviously, if the city says no and we surplus it and go out to bid on it, we're not going to get the fair market value money because it's only half an interest of the actual property. That's pretty much it. Got any questions, be glad to answer them.
So this just helps y'all finance, extend out the financing terms.
Yes.
And it's currently got 2 years left on it.
The lease, matures in October 2027.
This isn't about the lease, it's just about.
The management agreement, yeah.
Yeah, the management agreement's got 2 more years. And so booking things out beyond that is.
We've already booked beyond that about $500,000 worth of business, and we anticipate early next year, because of the lead time for this business, there'll be much more coming in.
Will those efforts be hampered if?
It's just a level of uncertainty without knowing whether or not what the situation will be in October 2027 if this isn't extended.
I have a question.
Mr. Sturgeon, yes.
What I remember last month is there was a time period of like extending it 2 years and it added up to like 7 years, but I don't see any time reference in this resolution at all.
We're looking to extend it, and I think the city has already approved it for an additional 10 years.
So we're having a total of 12 years.
A total of 12 years, yes.
Because at the meeting, there was a lot of discussion about making 7 years. You know?
Yeah, we've gone back to the various lenders, and that kind of puts us in the same spot, because we're looking for a 5-year loan, and that would be the same issue 5 years from now. So we're really, the shortest we can really go is a 10-year extension, if that's net 10 out of 12. So reduce it from 12 to 10.
And then the other question was, is there a escape clause? Like,
Yeah.
can we get out at any point if we decide it's the right year to get out of this investment?
And that was the point that Mr. Cook had made the comment. We have 120 days that we would notify the city if we choose to go ahead. This addendum does not hold us into not being able to explore that option if we choose to release ourselves from the
Yeah,
property.
that was the agreement with Franklin, but now we're talking about an agreement between us and.
Right, the termination clause is actually in the contract we have between us and Franklin. And should we want to sell it, our interest, that our party, us being a party in that contract terminate also, okay? So our rights, our obligations on that contract will terminate when we sell our interest.
And we don't have to worry about our agreement with the hotel manager.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay,
We would assign that to whoever the new owner is.
thanks.
The city of Franklin has already approved the extension.
Yes.
Yes, they have.
All right, if there are no further questions, I think this meeting's ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? I'll mark that unanimous.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, resolution 10-25-2, resolution appropriating and amending the 2025-26 public transportation capital project budget by $100,000, revenues to come from reserve account / county general fund balance.
Motion.
Second. Very good. This looks like just state and federal grants. For Vanpool, so by Vance for TMA.
Yes, so for the, sorry, I was on two. So yes, we actually hold these funds in a reserve account, an investment account. So we have been collecting these monies to offset and to use for the TMA vehicles. This is just pulling that now out of that investment account and moving forward with the purchase.
I know we surplus a bunch of those vehicles last month as well.
We have, and those funds, the revenues that we receive from from the sale of those goods will come back into the same account.
Any other questions from the committee or any of the other commissioners? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'll make that unanimous. Resolution 10-25-3, resolution appropriating and amending the 2025-2026 Health Department budget by $85,072.39 for salary costs not covered in local health services contract, revenues to come from unappropriated county general fund balance.
Motion.
Second. Very good. We have Kathy here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Commissioners. So this is exactly what it's asking, is that for over 45 years, the county has had an agreement, a cost reimbursement contract agreement with the state of Tennessee, with Tennessee Department of Health, that has funded more than half of the positions that I have at the health department. This year, we have found that based on the increases that the commission voted on at budget committee or at the county commission meeting in July, that we're gonna have to come back and ask for a little bit of dollars. We don't have enough in our contract right now to be able to pay these employees, primarily based on the longevity of the number of, the longevity that we've had with a lot of our employees that are on this contract. In previous years, we might have had people leave and that freed up a little bit of money, but these folks have been here a good long time. The other issue is that the Tennessee Department of Health has issued a policy that's capping the raises that, the reimbursement for raises that you guys provide. So for example, we don't follow the state's reimbursement rates, okay? We just never have, because it costs a lot more in Williamson to live and work than other smaller counties, surrounding us. So this year, the state has issued a policy that said you give a 7% raise, but the state only executes or allows a 4% pay for performance, we're only gonna reimburse the county whatever state employees are getting. Does that make sense? So we're finding ourselves having to come back now to the commission to request.
Well, it looks like maybe there's a further complication. The state only reimburses for 7.5 hours a day, and we've got an 8-hour work day for our employees.
That's correct.
There's a
So,
lot.
so to that point, Commissioner Morton, the county is still submitting invoices for the full 8 hours, okay? It's gonna be about June when we're gonna start to get in a pickle a little bit, that we might start to run out of a little bit of money, but we're still going to try to exhaust that contract before any money in the local direct budget is even touched. And I will say that in over 40, 45 years, this is the first time we've ever had to come to commission for this.
Very good. Any questions from the committee? Any questions from the other commissioners? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? I'll mark that one unanimous. Resolution 10-25-4, resolution appropriating and amending the 2025-2026 Williamson County DUI Recovery Court by $95,941.36 for the Tennessee Opioid Abatement Council funds, revenues to come from rollover federal grant funds.
Motion.
Second.
Very good. Looks like these are just partial rollover funds from last year and some grant funds this year.
Yes, sir. These were just funds that we were awarded last fiscal year, but we're not exhausted, so we are rolling those over so we can finish out the grant.
Any questions from the committee? Other commissioners? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'll mark that unanimous. Resolution 10-25-5, resolution authorizing a grant contract between Williamson County, Tennessee and the Tennessee Department of Health and Human Services on behalf of the Williamson County General Sessions DUI Court and amending the 2025-26 DUI Court budget by $363,876, revenues to come from grant funds. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second. Very good. Again, looks like state grant funds, no requirement to match.
Correct. These are new funds for the new year.
Very good. Any questions from the committee about this? Any other commissioners? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I want that unanimous. Resolution 10-25-6, resolution authorizing a grant contract between Williamson County, Tennessee and the Department of Health and Human Services on behalf of the Williamson County General Sessions Veterans Treatment Court and amending the 2025-26 Veterans Treatment Court budget by $383,642, revenues to come from grant funds.
Motion.
Second. Same thing we just had there, state grant funds.
Correct. These are,
Did I read that one twice because we didn't print it over? Those
No,
numbers are
this-
very similar.
I know, that's right.
Okay.
this is another one, but this is this year's award. Same grant, this different award.
State grant. Very good. Any questions from the committee or the other commissioners? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'll mark that unanimous. Resolution 10-25-7, resolution approving and authorizing the county mayor to execute a contract for the administration of retiree Medicare supplement and prescription drug plan with United Healthcare. And a motion?
Motion.
Second. Very good. Gina's here to explain. All I see is that annual difference in saving money, so you can start at that part, you can tell me the rest if you want.
Well, we'll start from the beginning. The Benefits Department, along with our benefit consultant, the jury group, did an RFP for the post-retiree coverage. And from that RFP process, United Healthcare showed the greatest savings for the county and for our retirees. And that was what P&I committee had approved.
There we go, so it saves both county money and also our retirees?
Yes, it does, both.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Any questions from the committee? Mr. Hester?
Is this plan separate for Williamson County employees and our teachers? The teachers I know have
No.
state money, but.
We have a grandfathered group of employees that include county government and school board employees that, and I apologize, I think it's July 1st, 06 or 8. And if you were hired before that date, then the program that we have set, you get to keep your benefits for life, basically. But the school board does, the teachers, bus drivers, any full-time eligible employees that were hired before that date get this benefit also.
Thank you.
Any other committee members? Any other commissioners? All right, seeing no other comments, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Mark that one unanimous. Resolution 10-25-8, a resolution approving and authorizing the county mayor to execute a dental insurance contract with Cigna Health and Life Insurance Company.
Motion.
Second. Very good.
Just like with the retiree coverage, we worked alongside with the jury group and did an RFP for a new dental provider. And Cigna has won that to be effective 1/1/26. And also that provides savings to the county and to our employees both as well.
I noticed on the last one, we had a dollar figure that looked relatively certain. Do we have a dollar idea on this one?
On
or-
savings,
I see employer shares and employee shares, just didn't know what we had before.
yeah, one of the plans we're bringing in is like an HMO type plan, which is a set premium.
So it might vary some depending on how
Yeah.
enrollment comes in based on.
Yeah,
what we-
based on enrollment, but I can get that figure, what we had provided to P&I, and a total savings, that's all.
Saving everybody money, that's.
Exactly,
That's
yep.
what we're looking for.
Yep.
Any other questions from the committee? Any questions from the commissioners? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I mark that unanimous. Resolution 10-25-9, resolution accepting a donation from Friends of Williamson County Animal Center and appropriating and amending the 2025-2026 Animal Center budget by $95,000, revenues to come from donations.
Motion.
Second. Very good. Andre, looks like this Friends of Williamson County Animal Center are transferring over some money.
Yes,
All right.
this is just the money, they give the money every year for us to hire the Plausibilities coordinator. Her name is Molly Dar, that's, as everybody knows that's listened to me, that's my favorite program, where we help adults with intellectual differences be able to participate with the animals. So Friends of supports the money for her salary, and then we have an endowment from the Leahy's that provides for Relief Vet, which does all of our public spay-neuter services every year.
Any questions from the committee? Commissioners? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mark that unanimous. Resolution 10-25-10, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to execute a grant contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security and appropriating and amending the Office of Public Safety 2025-26 budget by $30,065, revenues to come from grant funds.
Motion.
Second. Connor?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Connor Scott, Public Safety Director. So thanks again to Beth Lothers and Andrea Hastings with the grant team. They have helped us win this grant award through the state, through highway safety funds, and we intend to use this to pilot a program where we buy electronic devices that will plug into our fire apparatus, and through cell phone connectivity, they will beam a message to drivers' GPS units that lets them know an emergency vehicle is operating in their area. So on top of lights and sirens, which people don't always see and hear, when those systems are activated responding to an emergency, a message will pop up as long as people are using their GPS, letting them know that an emergency vehicle is operating near them so they can look out for it.
Looks like pretty cool technology. I don't think anybody knows how to get anywhere anymore without using their GPS technology, so.
Exactly. We'll take advantage of that.
Yeah. Very good. Any questions from the committee?
I had a question. Is there anybody else in the county, any other police or fire departments using this?
Not yet, but this would be a pilot study. Franklin and Brentwood actually just purchased technology that works through their GPS in their vehicles that talks to the traffic signals. It's another methodology for, it's called preemption, that will change the lights for you as you drive through. It's something that we've looked at. We're also looking at that for EMS for a potential solution. In the unincorporated area, obviously where there's not as many traffic lights, it may not be the right solution. That's why we're interested in this technology. But there are a few different options that people are looking at. One of the older methods for doing it was actually sensors mounted on top of streetlights. And if you had a flashing light on your emergency vehicle that flashed at the right frequency, it would change the signal for you. But this new technology that Brentwood and Franklin are moving to connects through GPS and fiber through the traffic signals. So it's sort of an upgraded version of that. And we're watching the outcomes of that too, to see if that's something we want to do for county fire or for EMS. But yeah, this would be a pilot for this technology in the county.
So we'll make sure, you said if this works, you'll consider it for the ambulances.
Yes, it could be something we consider for sure.
Anything else from the committee? Any commissioners? Seeing no further questions, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I mark that unanimous. Resolution 10-25-11, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to enter into a lease agreement with Brightstone Incorporated and amending the 2025-26 Sheriff's Office budget by $25,600, revenues to come from county general fund balance.
Motion.
Second. Sheriff, sounds like we need some space for our canines.
Correct, yeah, somewhere, I guess along the lines, and probably in the infamous stages of talking about the new special ops building and the one that will be demoed on Beasley Drive. That will result in the displacement of our K-9 division. They didn't have anywhere to go, no office space, no training grounds, because of the construction that will take place with the new facility. And they were able to locate this property at 4147 Columbia Pike. It's owned by Brightstone. It's really ideal, $2,500 lease for 3 years. And it will give them the acreage that they need to set up their training boxes and things, and a 1,500 square foot house that they can use as their office facility for the next 3 years until we figure out how this is gonna play out with the campus design as a whole. So that's, and we can go into a lot more detail if you'd like. I've got some of my K-9 folks here, and they're happy to talk about it in further detail if you'd like.
I know the space that those, the K-9 team needs to do those demonstrations and training exercises, so nothing from me for sure. Are there any questions from the committee? Any questions from the other commissioners? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Mark that unanimous. Resolution 10-25-12, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to enter into a letter of agreement with the State of Tennessee Department of Finance and Administration and appropriating and amending the 2025-2026 Sheriff's Office budget by $245,224.22, revenues to come from grant funds and unappropriated county general fund balance.
Motion.
Second.
This is grant funds for the mental health transport program that we have through AmeriMed, and $140,975 are new grant funds, and $104,249.22 is rollover grant funds, for a total of $245,224.22.
Very good. Are there any questions from the committee?
What was the name of that company you contracted with?
AmeriMed, AMERIMED.
Thank you.
Any questions from any commissioners? Yes, Commissioner.
Yes, sir. What kind of transport are you providing from the courthouse or?
No. This would be for mentally ill folks that are at a facility that need to either go to a facility or they need to go from a facility to a facility. So these are not courthouse related folks, but they have their own ambulances or their own ambulance type of vehicles that they transport these patients in. And that takes it off of our transport division, the court services folks, who would have to do that otherwise. So if they call us, from the hospital and they've got somebody ready to go to a facility, then we don't have to do that. AmeriMed will do that for us and it frees up our resources.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any further questions? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? I'll mark that unanimous. Resolution 10-25-13, resolution appropriating and amending the 2025-26 Sheriff's Department budget by $22,936.33. Revenues to come from rollover federal pass-through state grant funds.
Motion.
Very good. What's the, just rollover funds from the pass-through grant?
THSO.
THSO. Yeah, this is the governor's highway safety funds that we get to do interdiction and not interdiction, but safety checks and those sorts of things to help offset the cost of overtime. And this is the amount that is rollover. Is that right? Rollover funds from the grant.
Any questions from the committee, or the commissioners? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'll mark that unanimous. Resolution 10-25-14, resolution authorizing the issuance, sale, and payment of not to exceed $32,800,000 of county district school bonds of Williamson County, Tennessee, and providing for the levy of taxes for the payment of debt service on the bonds.
Motion.
Second. Very good. Phoebe?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is for the bonds. This is for rural debt service. These were intent to funds for the school that were issued and approved. Some were from May of last year, and then the last two were for maintenance and technology that were approved in July. So these have already, the intent to fund has already been approved. This is just now actually going to market so that we can fund those projects.
Any questions from the committee about these? We already approved them previously, we intend to fund, but. Any questions from any of the other commissioners? Commissioner Sturgeon, yes.
What school was the intent to fund for?
So these were actually, well, were several projects. This has to do with security, paving, roofings, HVAC. We did have $3 million for Hillsborough K through 8, and $1 million for Grassland Middle. The rest were for maintenance and technology.
It's not for building anything.
No.
It's our capital needs.
Exactly.
Very good. Any other questions from any commissioners? Committee? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? We'll mark that unanimous. Resolution 10-25-15, resolution authorizing the issuance, sale, and payment of not to exceed $33,500,000 of general obligation public improvement and school bonds of Williamson County, Tennessee, and providing for the levy of taxes for the payment of debt service on the bonds.
Motion.
Second. Very good.
So, Mr. Chairman, this is actually for, again, the intent of funds that have already been approved. We have school projects in this, and we also have the most recent intent to fund was in September that we approved Castle Park, Bethesda, College Grove, and the Franklin, second phase of the Franklin first for the EMS station. I will have in your, or you will have in your packet a list with details of every project, the number and the intent to fund number, so that will be in your packet for your commission packet. But this is just to actually move forward and to go to market with the projects that have already been approved.
And then Phoebe, I know that we've taken on some additional debt. We're also retiring some debt, I think, this year.
Yes,
So
so we, yes, the net debt, this is probably the smallest increase that we've had so far in I don't know when, at least in my tenure, I guess, in this position. But we will be paying off about $38.7 million of general debt, and we, with this new issue, will be only adding 33.5. So that is a reduction in general obligation debt of 5.28. In county district, we are going to be paying off in principal a little over 25.6 million, and with this issue, we would add 32.8, which is an increase of 7.1. However, if you combine those numbers, our total debt balance will only increase by $1,855,000.
Thank you. Any questions from the committee? Any questions from the commissioners? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? I'll mark that unanimous. Resolution 10-25-16, resolution of the governing body of Williamson County, Tennessee, supporting an application to participate in the Transportation Planning Grant Program for the development of long-range transportation planning activities.
Motion.
Mike Madison. Tell us about this.
Sure, good evening, everybody. So this is a planning grant from TDOT that would fund the development of a long-range transportation plan for the county as a whole. And that plan would supplement and augment the individual plans that each of the jurisdictions have. This is something that was identified as a need by the Growth Management Roundtable, which consists of the mayors of each of the jurisdictions. And our lobbyist, who used to be a deputy commissioner and chief engineer for TDOT, has suggested that a plan like this would help position the county and the jurisdictions for funding from the state level.
I know we've been told that, the state's giving priority to those that put money in beforehand, and much I try to tell my constituents, traffic doesn't stop at the city limits or at the county lines. If it's not a regional plan, then it's hard to get things going forward, so.
Yep.
Certainly makes sense to me. Are there any questions from the committee? Are there any questions from the other commissioners? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote then. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? We'll mark that unanimous.
Mr. Chairman, you could say on this one, you're not actually doing the funding, you're sending when we apply for the grant, when Beth applies for the grant.
We are committing
committing
to
to
a 10%
match,
number to
they
match the
wanna know that
250. So yeah, let's make sure everybody's clear about that. It's not a commitment to do so, but if we receive this fund, then we will be committing to 10% on it. And from a practical standpoint, from the way the state has announced and the plans that they have been approving, we need to be prepared on transportation grants to be able to come forward with some sort of matching funds, and in this case, 10%. Resolution 10-25-17, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the city of Fairview for the participation of eligible individuals in Williamson County's DUI recovery court.
Motion.
Second. Very good. Anybody from DUI court? My rough understanding, I'm not a criminal defense lawyer, but yeah, the city of Fairview has its own elected judge, and so the city of Fairview can impose criminal sentences. This then allows our general sessions court, which is under the county's jurisdiction, to be able to bring those into that county program from a city-imposed criminal sanction. Does that make sense? To get too far into branches of judicial government? Sorry. I'll take the lawyer hat off now. Are there any questions from the committee and any questions from the other commissioners? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll mark that unanimous. Resolution 10-25-18, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to execute a non-exclusive use agreement with Goodwill Industries of Middle Tennessee Incorporated to collect usable donated materials.
Motion.
Second.
Mac, and every time I go over to the convenience centers, I see, at least the ones I go to, a little Goodwill bin. I'm assuming that's what we're talking about.
It is. We have semi-trailers at some of the locations and then bins, unmanned bins at others. Our center attendants just kind of help guide that. We've been doing business with Goodwill since the 70s. They've had competition this time, so we had two companies to apply for it, and Goodwill has a lot better service for our residents than we do. And here's one that they let us know that they have, is parents are getting elderly, kids are already on their own, parents pass away, the kids don't want the house, they don't want the furniture, they don't want anything. Call Goodwill, they'll go package up everything. If you want a cabinet and chest of drawers, put your name on it, they'll package that up, your mover can come get those, they'll haul everything away and leave the floors mopped. No charge.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Do
Yes,
Does
Commissioner.
Goodwill pay us a fee for the rental of this?
Yes, it's astronomical. It's $1 per year for 5 years.
It works.
It provides another service though, and then that becomes stuff that Goodwill will take and doesn't wind up in our landfill.
That's correct.
It's true.
Well, it also helps our residents.
And helps our residents, yes.
Yeah, not on the side of the road.
Are there any other questions from the committee? Anything from the other commissioners? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Make that unanimous. Thank you. Resolution 10-25-22, resolution to surplus and approve the conveyance of various law enforcement related equipment to Hickman County, Tennessee, and authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to execute all documentation needed to complete the conveyance. Have a motion?
Motion.
Second. Sheriff, look like last month we gave them safety equipment, now we're gonna give them tasers.
These are the old outdated tasers that are no longer compatible. The cartridges are no longer compatible with what we use. And this is an ongoing process of basically cleaning out the old special ops building in preparation for the move to the new special ops building. And Hickman County will graciously take a lot of this stuff that they can parcel through and decide what they need and what they want and get rid of the rest. And this helps us get ready for our move.
Very good. And going back to the discussion we had last month about the helmets, I see this is being conveyed as is, so we don't have any
That's correct.
warranties or concerns if something doesn't work properly.
That's correct.
Fantastic. Are there any questions from the committee? Any questions from the other commissioners? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mark that unanimous. Resolution 10-25-23, resolution accepting the generous donation of Motorola repeaters from Rutherford County on behalf of the Williamson County Office of Public Safety.
Motion.
Second. Honestly, we're getting something. You want to tell me what they are?
We are. So these are radio system repeaters, which essentially rebroadcast the message from radio to radio. Rutherford County decided not to use them for their system, and we can use them for the VHF and UHF system, which is our backup here in the county. Our primary is 700, 800, but should that fail, we can still use VHF and UHF. So we can use these as a backup to our existing system. It's also helpful because some of our neighboring counties still use UHF, VHF as their primary systems. So should they come into the county for mutual aid, they would have improved coverage in areas where they're supporting us. And there obviously is no cost other than just the electricity to run them. So we feel like a pretty good deal, and we're happy to take them if you all agree.
Good. Are there any questions from the committee? Anything from the other commissioners? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mark that unanimous. Next resolution I have, although I think our agenda says we have a late file resolution, 10-25-24, but we do not have that right now, because I believe that's being heard by the committee first.
It will go to Parks and Recreation on Thursday.
So our next resolution then is Resolution 10-25-25, resolution accepting a donation from the estate of Cheryl A. Hall and appropriating and amending the 2025-26 Animal Center budget by $25,000, revenues to come from donations. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Very good. Looks like a generous donation.
Yes, so this, and I apologize, I've never late filed anything before, but the price on these MDTs went down by $2,000, and Connor can attest that I've been trying for about 2 years to get this locked down. So when the price dropped, I thought I want to jump on it and get them priced and get this money transferred over. And I don't know exactly what MDT stands for.
Mobile data terminal.
There you go. It's what allows us to have the GPS and the internet connection in our animal control vehicles. So when, especially important when our officers are out late at night on an on-call, a lot, they're not armed, and a lot of times they're going out to somewhat unsavory situations. And so now we'll have their GPS location. 911 center can watch them on the radar, on the whatever, the GPS. I'm so technical, I'm sorry.
You'll call her to help explain that.
Yeah.
Thank you, that, good explanation. Any questions from the committee? Any questions from the other commissioners? Seeing none, I think we're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Is there any other business? Motion to adjourn. Take a motion to adjourn. We are adjourned.